Wow, look at that. The last rays of the sun are escaping the visible realm across the hills of the Galilee. The sun escaped the visible realm. But you know what is happening right now? The earth is groaning. All creation is groaning for the appearing of the sons of God. Look at that. Look at that. I love seeing the sunsets here and just understand over there is a city on a hill. Is it not? A city on a hill. That's the very city that could be the very city on a hill, which is an ancient city that the master Galilean spoke of. A calm, a hush, a quiet wind, a rustling of the breeze, a rustling of the trees in the breeze. As the last rays set across the Galilean hills, we feel something is stirring. We all feel it. We're preparing for Pentecost. We're preparing for a new thing. Yeah, and God works with dates. It's the Hebrew date. It's Pentecost. And here we are, poised at the edge of something. We're at the edge of Corona and the beginning of what could be a Pentecost reality. It's not tonight, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow night is the dusk. Tomorrow night is the dusk that ushers in a high holy day, a set apart time, a consecrated date. And we know what happened when the Torah was given on Pentecost. According to tradition, we know that on Pentecost the Spirit was given. We know something is a stirring through the dimensions. So here we are in the Galilee. Here we are, we're asking God, we're asking God, and we're saying, wow, as we look over the Sea of Galilee, as we look over this world, as we look over this paradigm, this dimension, what are you doing? What are you going to do? Is there a new day dawning? Is there a new reality beginning as the wind picks up? Is there a new camber, a new elevation, a new Aliyah awaiting us? I'm excited to say that I believe my faith says yes, there is. Says yes, there is. And as I look over this ancient land, and actually as we look over all the lands where God is moving and the believers are coming together, there's a leaving behind of old thoughts, old paradigms, old baggage, and stepping into something new and exciting. So the night of Shavuot, we're all going to be dressing in white just for fun. It's a tradition. We're all going to be doing that tomorrow. That's the clothes I'm going to be setting out. We're all going to be praying. It doesn't mean no one has to wear white. It's just a tradition. It's fun. But we're going to be expecting, as this whole Galilee House of Prayer comes to, vertical Galilee House of Prayer comes into existence, we are saying, Lord, look at the last rays of the sun dipping behind the horizon. What will tomorrow bring? I know that we're very excited that in the middle of the Aliyah Return Center, there are quite a few people who may be able to join us, possibly the new immigrants, possibly Jewish agency people, maybe kibbutz people, people from Jerusalem, people from Judea, Samaria. This is what's planned, yeah? I'm telling you what's planned. People from Judea, Samaria, and I don't know how many from the ends of the earth, but I'm excited, It's a time when my own son was born, my firstborn son was born. I have to ask the question, could he be a sign and a wonder? I mean, he was born on Pentecost now 7 years ago. And so I know I just prayed over him tonight and I said, hey, son, believing for God's best for you, believing God's best for me, believing God's best for you who are watching this. And I just wanted to say, as the dusk is happening on this day before, let's stay expectant. Let's not get disappointed. Let's not lose sight of what God is doing, what he has done, what he promises to do. He promises to pour his Spirit out on all flesh. When is that? I don't know. Hopefully soon. David in Judea, good to see you. We have to have an expectant heart for Judea and Samaria. We have to have an expectant heart for Jerusalem. We have to have an expectant heart for the Galilee. We have to have an expectant heart for the nations. If you stop believing and your faith ends, then you know what? You are probably an empty vessel. Not good for too much. Not good for too much. As the dusk falls on the Galilee and the hush and the preparation for a high holy day is upon us, I want you to remember it's a high holy day. It's a high and holy day, starting tomorrow at dusk. So we got 24 hours here. So I want to say, guys, if you are expectant like I am, well then why don't we pray tonight before we go to sleep and say, God, what will you do? I'll be part of it. Whatever it is, I'll be part of it. I'll be part of a Pentecost. I'll be part of a Shavuot. I'll be part of a first fruit offering. I'll be part of 2 loaves being waving 2 loaves before God. I know in Ephesians that would suggest that that's Jew and Gentile. Ephesians would say that that is a coming together. Do you realize, and I'm going to leave you with this, I'm not going to talk your ear off, I'm going to say this real quick and I'm going to hang up. We're walking the dog over here. Oh, there he is. There she is right there. Wow. Do you know that without unity, you can't get there. Without unity, you can't get there. You gotta be. Ben Gurion was trying to bring a unity where it was extremely hard to bring a unity in 1948. Very hard to bring this unity, but he went ahead and declared nationhood in 1948. How hard do you think it was for Moses? How hard do you think it was for Moses to be able to try to bring together a bunch of crazy tribes? You know, how hard do you think it was for the disciples? They were missing, one of them was a betrayer, and they were missing one guy. But what happens right before? Look at the verse right before. Look at the verse right before Acts 2 and the end of Acts 1. They vote and they decide to bring together the 12. They gotta bring them together before. Bring together the 12. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bringing together the people of faith. Someone's like, well, that person's from America. That person's from Asia. That person's from Africa. That's a person from Israel. How can they come together? How can they agree? They always have to divide. They always have to do something different and they have to fight. No, they don't. There can be a serving of the one true Creator who made a plan beyond you and beyond me. And let's be part of that plan. And part of that plan is joining together tomorrow night on Shavuot, on Pentecost. Hey, good to see you, Teresa. Good to see you, Gina. Part of the plan of this other earthly being, which we serve, called God, is gathering together at the appointed time tomorrow night. Let's get our hearts ready. Let's get our hearts ready for something that God will do. I love to see the last rays of the sun of this day gone and us step into a new reality. It can happen, and it can be a blessing for our nation. And it's not always going to be a COVID reality. It's not always going to be a political turmoil reality. It's not always going to stay the same. It's going to change. And we want to be part of God's change and do that together. And part of that's unity. How can we be all unified better? That's one of the reasons why I do these lives. I believe in unity, not at all costs, but I believe in unifying under the Creator and to see His plans and purposes happen, not only here in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, Galilee, ends of the earth, but also ends of the earth. But it's Galilee of the nations. It changed the world once. I believe it's going to happen again. You remember Azusa Street? Get ready for Mezuzah Street. If you know what that means, write it in the comments. Thank you all. God bless and good night. Pray before you lay your head on your pillow that you'll be part of the unity and part of the revival with no rival. God bless you all, and to all a good night.